Hey, so if you're relocating to the Phoenix area and you're still having trouble trying to figure out exactly where it is you want to live, this home tour today, these two homes here, they might be the missing clue. In this video, I'm going to show you two semi-custom luxury model homes that are going to make you want to put Scottsdale on the back burner and take a much harder and closer look at this community. All right, let's get into this. So for starters, there's 4 floor plans here, and each one of them is a single-story home. And they range in size from just over 3,100 square feet to almost 3,700 square feet. And the lot sizes here are some of the biggest we've ever seen. So you're not all jammed in shoulder to shoulder with your neighbors like we see so many times in other new build communities. Now, this builder is a luxury builder. They've got communities in Scottsdale that are selling in the millions of dollars, but these homes right here, they are not even close to that kind of a price range. And the amenities that they're planning for this community are pretty nice, and we'll get to those in a minute. But first, I want to take you on a tour of this model home here, and then when we're done with that one, we're going to go over here and we're going to check out this one back over here behind me. All right, now one thing that I want to point out to you as we walk up here is this 3-car garage. Let me see if I can turn this camera around. So we've got the standard, 2-car garage right here. But then over here, and they kind of got it blocked here at the model, we've got that separate 1-car garage. So it's a 3-car garage, but it's in a 2-in-1 kind of layout, which for me personally, that's actually one of my favorite configurations, because this single car garage here, works out perfect if you got motorcycles, or you want a man cave, or a workshop or whatever. So that works out great. I had one of those a few years ago and absolutely loved it. And then over here again, you've got the regular standard 2-car garage. So just wanted to point that out to you. Let's go inside and see what's going on. Wow. Kind of a grand entryway, I think. We got some really tall ceilings. Those have got to be, I don't know, those got to be 12 feet, maybe? 10 feet? I don't know. I should have asked, but I didn't. So I'm going to take you straight to the kitchen, because that's really kind of everybody's favorite spot. And we'll talk about that. And then we'll go back and kind of start over at the front door again and show you around. But let me remind you that everything in this house is highly upgraded. I don't know that there's really any standard features in here, but they do that so you can see what is available, give you ideas of what you could do with your own home, maybe even entice you a little bit. So I don't know. But so here in the kitchen, first thing is, you got this dining room that's got its own little nook area, which, again, if you've seen others of my videos, that's kind of one of my favorite things. I like having the dining room over here out of the way. And then you got the kitchen here. Now, they went with the waterfall. Now, they went with the waterfall kitchen island. So the waterfall part is this part here where it comes down on both sides. But you can see this is a good size island. They got 4 chairs there. And with some smaller chairs, I bet you could fit 5 in there pretty easily. And this built-in refrigerator, well, that's quite the upgrade, but pretty dang nice, isn't it? Over here is where you got your microwave. And they did cabinets all the way to the top, which, I don't know, that's pretty cool. Thing about these with the windows in them, the windows, you got to make sure that you've got something nice in there and that it's not all messy. If I had these at my house, it might be a little bit messy. Of course, they've dropped in this Wolf brand gas range oven. Really, really nice, really high end. And this whole great room, living room, dining area, look how big and open it is. Yeah. How's that for a great room light? Pretty sure that's not standard, but you could definitely buy yourself one. So really nice big open area here. One more quick pan around the kitchen. Kitchen, sorry about the pun. Didn't mean for it, it just came naturally. All right, from here we're gonna go back to the front door. Now the master bedroom, it's back through there, right through there. We're gonna get to that in a minute. And okay, I gotta tell you, I checked it out before I started filming. I think you're gonna be really impressed with the master bathroom. It's really impressive. All right, so as you come in the front door, of course you got all this out here in front of us to the great room in the kitchen, but over here to the left, we got this great kind of drop zone area here and lots of cabinets. Over here is a powder bath. Look how they did the tile up the wall all the way to the ceiling. That's pretty cool. And then we've got the laundry room. Now one option that you have that you can do in the laundry room here is this door right here. That is not standard, but that is an option, and it takes you straight into the master closet. That is a really cool option to have. I mean, you don't have to carry laundry baskets all around, and it's just a really cool option to have. So anyway, I showed you the closet real quickly. We'll come back to that in a minute. But let's go down the hallway here and check out some of these bedrooms. You'll notice that these are pretty good sized rooms. This one seems to be maybe a little bit deeper there towards the windows than it is wide, but they're still good sized bedrooms. Yeah, those are 8-foot doors, so these are 10-foot ceilings in here. Gives it a really big open, airy feeling, and this room has its own private ensuite. So they got the tub shower combo, but they definitely upgraded it with the tile up the wall and the fixtures. And then it's got its own walk-in closet right here. It's a good sized closet. Now, one of the options on this home is to have a next-gen suite, and that's what they have here modeled. So normally this would be a bedroom, but we've got the next-gen suite with not a full-on kitchen, but kind of a wet bar kitchen and living area here. They also have added a entry-exit door out to the front patio, so that whoever's occupying this can have their own private entrance and come and go as they please. Now this door here goes out to the garage, that single car garage that I showed you. But one cool thing about that I forgot to tell you when I was out there is that you have the option of making that a 2-car garage. So actually you could have two 2-car garages for a total of 4 cars. So that's kind of cool. And of course we got us a ensuite here in the next gen suite. They went with the the shower, no tub. All right, so now it's time to go show you that master bedroom and master bathroom. Now, if you like this house, wait until I show you the next one, because I think you're gonna love it as well. Now, you gotta love this big, huge wall of glass here, right? Of course, that's an upgrade, and I would take you out and show you the backyard, but guess what? Backyard's closed. We can't go out there. Looks like they had to drain their pool for some reason. And I'll tell you what that is. Where we go? I'll tell you what that is here in just a minute. But here is the master bedroom. Lots of windows, the slider. It's nice and big. Lots and lots of room in here. Again, 10-foot ceilings, 8-foot doors. The tiling, the wood look tile on the ceiling, that's a designer touch. That is not standard. I'm not even sure that that's an option. I think that just might be a design touch that I guess you could mimic later if you wanted to. And then the master bathroom. Look how big this is. So open, so roomy. We've got the one vanity here with a sink, and then a separate one over there with a sink. Huge walk-in shower. Look at that tile. That's a wall. That is a wall of tile. That's not just a little bit of tile. And then they went with the separate soaking tub in here as well, with a great big huge picture window. That is a big tub. And check out the highly upgraded hardware on the tub there. Come over here, take another look at the shower. Yeah, how's that for a master bathroom shower? Pretty nice, right? And then we have the water closet or the reading room. And then here's the master closet again. And as you can see, it's a good sized closet. And there's that doorway into the laundry room and the rest of the house back on beyond. All right, let's talk about, I told you I would tell you what this is out here. So one of the options that you have, and I can't go out there because again, the backyard is closed, but the option that you have is to have a cabana and a cabana bathroom. And that's what they've done here with the model. So it looks like they kind of have that one maybe set up a bit as an office, but kind of a bit of a pool house or something, you know, a little guest area, or, you know, probably lots of different ways you could use it. And then the outside cabana bathroom, which comes in real handy when you're in the pool and whatnot, so you're not tracking in water and getting the inside of the house all wet. You just kind of pop over there and you've got that available to you. So, and back out to the main living area. All right, now don't go anywhere, because in a few minutes I'm going to tell you more about this community. I'm going to tell you about the amenities, and then we're going to go into detail on these homes, and I'll even give you some information on the pricing. So stay tuned for that. But right now, as promised, let's go look at that second model that I told you I was going to show you. All right, now as we walk over there, I just want to remind you that that really nice sales rep sitting in the office in there, they work for the builder. They're employed by the builder, and it's their job to look out for the builder's best interests. Now, I don't work for any builder. I actually work for you, and it's my job to look out for your best interests. So if you're working with a realtor, just wanted to remind you that Your agent has to accompany you on your very first visit to the community. Otherwise, the builder's not going to allow you to bring that agent on board later after the fact. So your agent has to be with you to get you registered, and then you're good to go. So just keep that in mind. Now, as we walk up to this other model here, you know what? Let me turn the camera around. I wanted to tell you that these homes all come with 4 different options for their elevation or the fascia, the way that they look. So 4 models, and each home has its own, or not its own, but each model has 4 different variations of the elevation. And so the 4 are the Desert Contemporary, the Modern Ranch, and Spanish. And the Spanish elevation is usually the one that's included in the base pricing, and the other 3 will have additional costs attached to them. All right, let's go inside and take a look. Wow, the first thing that catches my eye is there is a ton of open space in here. A lot. We'll get to that. In fact, let's go to it right now, because again, like in the other one, I think the kitchen is probably everybody's favorite. So here we are in the kitchen. You can see how big and open it is. And this, I don't know if this is a dining area, a separate sitting area. I guess you could use it for however you wanted to. But man, I don't even know if this is showing up on the camera, but this whole area is just ginormous. Again, we've got the waterfall island in here, highly upgraded cabinets and appliances, but very, very nice. And then again, you can see just how big and wide and open this whole living area is. Now we got the master bedroom, and it's right back through there, but we're not going there just yet. We'll get there in a minute though, but I want to go back over here to the front door and kind of start there. I know you want to see the master bedroom and the master bathroom. That, along with the kitchen, is usually everybody's favorites, but we need to come back here and show you all the rest of this stuff first. So as you first come in, look at this. Got a really nice office here. Sits right up front with a great view out the window. I really like offices that are right up front because I like to look out the window and know what's going on. Maybe you do too. I don't know. So that was coming into the right. Coming into the left. Oh, looky here. We've got us a bedroom with its own ensuite even, and a big walk-in closet. I don't know, this is like the perfect guest room. Look at this. When's the last time you saw one of these somewhere? About 1979, 1982, somewhere right in there. Everything old becomes new again. So here's the closet. Let's show you the ensuite here. Again, everything's highly upgraded. None of this is going to be standard, but I mean, if you like tile, that's what it looks like if you take it all the way up to the top. One thing I've noticed is these homes have lots and lots of big windows, which allows for a lot of natural sunlight, which is really nice. And we've got, of course, the powder room. And another bedroom. which also has its own ensuite. How about that? Guess that way you don't have kids fighting over the bathroom, or, you know, it's my turn to use it. No, it's not. It's your turn. It's my turn. You know, that kind of stuff. And remember earlier I said something about the views? How's that for a view? Of course, that's from the model, but every home's going to have some sort of a view out here. And another walk-in closet. Now, I would show you the backyard, but that one's closed as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with their backyards, so I can't show you that. So guess what? We're going to go look at the master bedroom now. I will, after we're done with the master bedroom, I will show you out there through the window so you can at least get an idea of what the backyard looks like. Well, this is rather interesting. First of all, this room is huge, right? I mean, that's a king-size bed and tons and tons of room. But we got these interesting little chaise lounges, I guess, you know, if you wanted to sit there and watch TV. Kind of cool, I guess. Big windows, like I mentioned just a minute ago, big windows, lots of natural sunlight. Again, pretty sure that's not a standard light fixture, but if you like it, you can get one just like it. Oh boy, I just looked over here. How's that for a master bathroom? We got dual vanities, one here, one way over there. Got that soaking tub. And then how about this? This is something my wife would love. A little makeup counter with a ginormous mirror. Don't pay any attention to the guy in the mirror there. And then, wow, look at this shower. This has got to be one of the biggest showers I think I've ever seen. It is just ginormous. The rain shower head. I mean, I guess we call that a party shower. I'm not sure, but that is big. That is really, really big. We'll come in here. Of course, we got the water closet. No home is complete without that one, right? I think this is one of my favorite master bathrooms that I've ever run across. Now look at this closet. Holy cow. Lots and lots of room in here. That's a big walk-in closet. And this is one of the biggest master bedrooms I think we've seen. So let me show you the backyard. They're clearly having issues with their pools because this one is drained and empty as well. But as you can see, it's a big lot. And there's a lot that you can do with that lot. And again, how about those views? Hard to go wrong with those. Now that's actually looking to the west, so can you imagine what the sunsets would look like? It'd be absolutely gorgeous. We'll just kind of stroll back this way. All right, so I showed you this entire house. What do you say we go find a place to sit down, and I'll give you all the details on the community, and I'll even give you the specs and the pricing on the two models that we just walked through. All right, so I really liked the office when we first came in, so that's where we are now. So tell me in the comments below what you thought about these two models. Did you like them? Did they do it for you, or maybe not? But here's the good news. If neither one of these really work for you, they got two more floor plans here for a total of 4. So Don't be discouraged. If these don't work, they got two more that we can take a look at with you. Now remember at the beginning of the video when I said that this community here would make you put Scottsdale on the back burner and you'd really want to take a solid look at this community? Well, let me tell you what this community is. Today we're at Ladera Trails. It's a Toll Brothers community and we're in Santan Valley. It's a gated community, and if you're into the outdoors kind of stuff, it's in the perfect location. The 10,000 acre Santan Mountain Regional Park, it's literally a couple of 100 yards away. It's just right down the street is the main entrance into the park, and that's where you've got all kinds of hiking, mountain biking, and horseback riding trails. And for day-to-day convenience, you're about 15 minutes from the heart of Queen Creek, where you'll find all the shopping, restaurants that you would want, and even Costco. Oh, and the amenities here, they're gonna be pretty nice, and we'll get to that in just a second. But first, let me tell you about the two models that we actually toured. So the first one that we walked through, it's called the Manchester. And this home, it's 3,124 square feet, and it comes with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a flex room, and a 3-car garage. Now that home has a starting price of $840,000. And the second model that we walked through, the one I'm actually sitting in right now, is called the Woodland. This is a 3,692 square foot home. It's actually the largest one in their series of homes here. It has 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, a flexible dining room, and another flex room, as well as a 3-car tandem garage. Now this home has a base price of $923,000. And like I said, Toll Brothers quality like you'll find in Scottsdale, but at a much better price here in Santan Valley. Plus, because it's Toll Brothers, there's all sorts of design options that are available to you. And we saw some of those as we walked through the models. I mean, you can add guest casitas, cabanas, and expanded patios. Remember I showed you that huge multi-sliding glass wall? And then the flex rooms can always be made into offices. And Toll Brothers has kind of taken the step to make sure that the amenities here kind of match the quality and value of the home. So let me tell you what they're gonna have. So there's gonna be a resort style pool. There's gonna be an outdoor gathering area that's gonna have fire pits. There's gonna be a big playground for the kids. And of course, it's gonna have pickleball courts because no community is ever complete without pickleball. That has become almost a way of life. It's an automatic staple in these new build communities these days. You know what I just remembered I didn't tell you? And that's the lot size. I told you at the very beginning that these are some of the biggest lots we've ever seen. Well, the lot sizes here start out at a 1/4 acre, and then there's some that are even bigger than that. And in today's environment, I'm telling you, a 1/4 acre, that is huge. Now, I know if you're coming from back east or other places where you're used to living on 2 or 3 acres, maybe that sounds a little small, but here in this area, 1/4 acre is huge. So then, is Ladera Trails right for you? Well, if you want a luxury single-story home with space to spread out, check. If you want a 1/4 acre lot or more in a gated community, check. And if you want all of that at a fraction of the cost that you would pay in Scottsdale, check and double check. Now, the only real consideration is this is not entry-level pricing like a lot of the other communities I've shown you in Santan Valley. But relative to Scottsdale, the quality, what you get here, this is an absolute steal. Now, if you got questions about this community or you want to see it in person, feel free to reach out to me anytime. Call, text, email. We'll get together. We'll come out and see if this isn't the right fit for you. Now, before I go, I want you to check out this video right here because I actually handpicked it specifically just for you.